Best Bridge Camera 2023. Bridge cameras are known for their massive zoom range. They are able to capture anything from a wide-angle landscape shot to a detailed shot of a bird in the distance. These versatile cameras are so popular as they are pretty lightweight for the amount they can zoom, so can easily capture faraway subjects such as elephants on safari or even the moon. There are some drawbacks to bridge cameras such as sensor size and the fixed lens. They are still the best option for lots of photographers. Number 1. Nikon Coolpix B600. Those seeking big zoom power from a relatively compact all-in-one setup are directed to the 16-megapixel Nikon B600. Frill-free and a little lightweight in build it may be, despite its mini DSLR-type looks, but that is reflected to an extent in the price, while the simplicity of operation and handling makes it accessible to a wider audience. Some 3 years on from its original pre-pandemic release, this camera offers plenty of visual poke for everyday family photography and video capture. Available in no-nonsense matte black or shiny maroon red. The headlines here of the Nikon Coolpix B600: a 16-megapixel backside illuminated CMOS sensor and lens shift vibration reduction. In fact, the Nikon Coolpix B600 6x optical zoom offers the 35mm equivalent of a generous 24-1440 long and f/3.3 maximum aperture, with images composed and reviewed via the 3-inch, 921K resolution LCD screen on the backplate. Unlike a DSLR or mirrorless camera, there is no separate eye-level viewfinder. The location where one would usually sit instead houses the B600's built-in capture. Number 2. Sony RX10 IV. Even though the Sony PowerShot RX10 IV is the most expensive camera on our list, it has a high price tag for a reason. The most exciting upgrade from the RX10 III is the 315-point phase detect AF system, which makes it much better at tracking moving subjects. Bluetooth and Wi-Fi connectivity make it possible to share images to your smartphone on the move, and the 24-600 lens makes it a super versatile camera. It's capable of 24fps in continuous burst mode, which is a big improvement on the 14fps on the RX10 III. All of these extra features make it a much better. Looking to trade in that DSLR and lens collection for just the one camera that can, in theory, do it all? Sony's RX10 Super Zoom Bridge Camera opens a new tab. Series has been running for nearly a decade at the time of writing. During that period, the electronics behemoth has produced 4 models, with the one we're examining here being the latest sports and action camera, but you will have to dig a little deeper into your funds. Number 3. Nikon P1000. At its max zoom, the Nikon P1000 has an astonishing 3000 focal length, which is even more impressive than the P950s. However, when shooting at the telephoto end, you lose 3 full stops, taking the aperture down from a solid f/2.8 to a miserable f/8. Nikon's VR vibration reduction cuts down camera shake, but at longer focal lengths there is a noticeable softness in images which it doesn't fix. It boasts a higher resolution electronic viewfinder, 4K video capabilities, and RAW format shooting. The biggest downside of this camera is its price tag and the fact it only has a 1/2.3-inch sensor. It's a lot of money for not a lot of sensors, and there are other cameras on the list that are better value for money, albeit not with the same zoom range. The P1000 is a lovable beast and an optical marvel, but it's difficult to recommend. Max zoom is rarely required in real-world shooting, and the optic necessitates a small sensor with underwhelming image quality. Even so, if you're going on safari and can't carry or stretch to a super telephoto DSLR setup, the P1000 may just be worth the money. Number 4. Sony RX10 III. Sony has now released 4 RX10 models and has a policy of keeping older models on sale. So while the RX10 RX3 is not the newest, it still gets second place in our list. It introduced an impressive 600 maximum zoom setting and a very respectable f/2.44 maximum aperture range. While it isn't a replacement for the RX2 model, still on sale, it boasts a slightly better battery life and a 9-bladed diaphragm in comparison to the RX2 7-bladed alternative. Although it does miss out on the ND filter that made an appearance in both previous models, the camera can be found for some great prices now. So, if you don't need the RX10 IV's high-speed AF and shooting, this model can save you a lot of cash. These specifications, however, also mean the camera is weighty and that it feels DSLR-like or DSLR light in the hand. Ultimately, though, it's images we'll be buying this camera for, and here the RX3 packs in plenty of detail and a richness of color, with, if we're being picky, just a slight fall off in sharpness towards the very corners of the frame at maximum wide-angle setting, which is fairly standard for a jack-of-all-trades offering. Number 5. Canon PowerShot SX70HS. On paper, the SX70HS looks a close rival to the Panasonic FZ82 above, offering a slightly longer maximum zoom and nearly matching the Panasonic's wide-angle setting. But its f/3.46.5 maximum aperture range is on the low side, and its 20-megapixel resolution can't overcome the limitations of the small 1/2.3-inch sensor size. The SX70 does handle well, and it's not that big for a bridge camera, but the opposition has moved on, with bigger zoom ranges, bigger sensors, or lower price points. The SX70HS offers solid enough specifications, but at a price point that makes its rivals look more tempting. The 65x zoom is the main attraction, but the 4K video capability, high-quality EVF, and screen are also very attractive on a bridge camera at this level. The results are reasonable for a camera with this sensor size, but we recommend staying to ISO 800 or lower, so it's most suited to using good light. While we like the handling and features, the quality of the results in low light makes the SX70HS less versatile than we'd like. It's a good choice for days out with the family. Number 6. Nikon P950. The insane zoom on the Nikon Coolpix P950 is the main reason it claims second place on our list of best bridge cameras. It's without one of the best super zooms, going with an impressive 83x optical zoom and an equivalent focal range of 24-2000. If that's not enough for you, you can even digitally extend the zoom up to 4000 with the 166 dynamic fine zoom. It features an improved viewfinder, SRAW output, and you can capture 4K video. If it wasn't for the small sensor, it would have claimed the top spot, but a larger sensor does have a lot of advantages. The Nikon Coolpix P950 excels for its colossal zoom range and lens quality, but its image quality is disappointing in 2020. Only if you absolutely must have this much zoom reach is it worth considering, and even then the price is tough to justify. Number 7. Panasonic FZ82. The Panasonic FZ82 might not have the same zoom range as the Nikon P950, but at 20-1200 it's still pretty impressive. It has a maximum variable aperture of f/2.85.9 and uses a 1/2.3-inch sensor, which isn't the best for low light, but it does enable it to have a bigger zoom range. The price of the FZ82 is also quite a lot more appealing than the first two cameras we mentioned, and you still get a lot of useful features. It can shoot 4K video and takes advantage of Panasonic's 4K photo mode for high-speed image capture. The twin wide-angle focal length is also a lot wider than most bridge cameras, which makes it perfect for shooting landscapes or in small, indoor spaces. The Panasonic Lumix FZ80, known as the FZ82 outside the US, follows a succession of attractive and feature-packed bridge cameras from Panasonic. It's a small and lightweight all-in-one camera capable of shooting practically any subject you point it at, and at its current price point, it's also one of the best cheap cameras available to buy. Number 8. Panasonic FZ1000 Roman II. The FZ1000 Roman II is a welcome update to the original Panasonic FZ1000 bridge camera. Look closely, and you'll see that you're still getting a hell of a lot of current tech for the money. The 20.1 MP 1-inch sensor and 25-400 Equiv f/2.84 Leica branded lens come together to form a capable core, with 4K UHD video, 5-axis power OIS stabilization, a 2.36 million OLED EVF, Wi-Fi, and NFC, and a raft of video-specific additions such as zebra patterning on top of it. Definitely one to snap up if you don't need the fancy tricks of the more recent FZ2000/FZ2500. FZ1000, a bridge camera that's now been on sale for 5 years. Despite the gap in releases, the basics remain the same. The FZ1000 Roman II sports big zoom power, reaching 400 for telephoto work, and better smartphones and other bridge cameras via the use of a larger image sensor. It does a good job balancing zoom power, size, and price, but we wish Panasonic had added some level of dust and splash protection. Number 9. Nikon Coolpix B500. The Nikon Coolpix B500 is a very popular bridge camera due to just how much bang you get for your buck. Despite a lower price than many bridge cameras, it offers a 4x zoom range and a lot of advanced controls, making it a great choice for those wanting telephoto reach for shooting birds and other distant subjects without paying a fortune. Drawbacks include having to make do with the LCD screen, as there is no eye-level viewfinder, and that could be hard work if trying to track a fast-moving subject or shooting in bright sunlight. Also consider the Nikon Coolpix B600. opens a new tab, which is similar but boasts a longer 6x zoom. The Nikon Coolpix P500 attracts a lot of interest because it has a huge 4x zoom range and a lot of advanced controls, and it's really affordable. Obviously you get what you pay for, though, and there are bound to be things you miss out on at this price.